Hey everybody, I'm Captain Tommy Scoville. Hello, Cindy. Ensign? Cindy? Looking good in green. All right, people, let me explain to you what we're doing here. You see the ampersand up there in that thumbnail, right? Things are really bad. And things are really bad, and we're all going to get through this holiday season, right? Dialectic behavioral training is very often brought in to handle people who are dealing with end-of-life diagnoses, right? Where you get the diagnosis of a brain tumor, you get the diagnosis of something that is going to take you off of this planet. Nevertheless, you got to clean the kitty litter, right? I mean, no matter how bad it is. And this is a great lesson in life because, one of the expressions that we use around here a lot is, I cried because I had no shoes until I saw a man that had no feet. And one of the things about the boat is you will very quickly realize that most of us just don't have shoes. But there are some people on this boat that don't have feet, right? There are some people on this boat that really, really struggle with some heavy duty stuff. And sometimes that's a dose of perspective that's pretty good for people, yeah? But regardless of whether or not you're the impending doom that is looming over you, the things that are weighing down on you, the things that are making the holiday season seem like they're going to be a difficult time, right? All of those things are very real to every single person. I'm not downplaying any of them. I'm not. Because every problem that you have is real. And if it's causing you to struggle through this season, then it's really, really real. Sharon, I know you are the poster child. You are one of about 30, I think, currently, of people who are disabled. Sharon says, I'm the poster child for this. I literally have no feet. And we have a lot of people that don't. We have a lot of people that don't. And we have a lot of people who are going through some really, really tough stuff this holiday season. There's some things that we're going to talk about today because I got a bunch of emails. Whenever I get a bunch of emails, it's usually a pretty good idea to share it with you guys instead of trying to handle it all at once. I got a lot of emails from a lot of people who have done gastric bypass surgery. Okay? As it turns out, this is something that a lot of people are getting. It is a very, very popular procedure and it saves lives. It also opens you up to drug abuse and alcoholism in a way that you cannot imagine. When you shrink the size of the stomach and you do the procedure that they do with lap band or with any of the laparoscopic procedures, what ends up happening is these people can get really, really loaded on a very, very small amount of alcohol. And we did this once on the show. We talked about it. Mark Wages, love Mark. Mark's co-founder of the Lifeboat. He was my partner in crime and always, forever, the other captain of the Lifeboat. So Mark had gastric bypass surgery. And I'm giggling because Mark says this line over and over and over again. Yes, we can absolutely ask for good thoughts and prayers. And send me an email, please, as well, if you don't mind. Sharon, please send me an email. Reach out to me. Right, so maybe we can talk about that off the air too, huh? Send me an email, please. We'll see what we're gonna do about that, right? We'll get something. The holiday seasons, people, we're gonna look out for one another, right? We all agreed we're gonna do that, and that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to look out for one another this holiday season, and it's going to make you feel better than stuffing a stocking. I promise you. It really is. This is something that's real. This is something that is palpable, people. It really is. I'm going to be doing a lot more live feeds in the month of December. We're going to come live and off a lot more often because I think that connection is a good thing. And a lot of people have reached out to me and said, I'm not going to lie to you. This is the only connection in my life. And that's hard. That's hard. And I'll be honest, it's something you need to work on, right? Because real life connections are essential. If this is the only thing you can do, that's great. It is. It's fantastic. If this is what you got to work with it. But real life connections are great. This is a great way to come and have the ability to talk and open up and share things and do it without the whole world staring at you, right? You can do it under the avatar, and sometimes that just makes it a lot easier for people, which I think is great. We did a show earlier about the shooting in Las Vegas at UNLV. The shooter, as it turns out, was a gentleman, as we guessed. This gentleman is in his 60s, which we probably did not see coming We don't know much more than that. We know that there are 3 deceased and 1 is critically injured. So our thoughts and prayers are going out to all of the people in and families in Las Vegas, right? Because this is horrific. It's horrific. So, hold on. Nicola, please continue to reach out to your friend, right? Keep reaching out to that person. There are a lot of folks who are going to be shut in this holiday season. We all know some shut-ins. We all know some people who are a little older. We all know some people that just can't get out. We know some people who are, who don't have the ability to leave their homes, right? Let's go check them out. Let's go visit one this holiday season. Everybody pick one. Everybody pick one, right? Or pick 3 or 4. A lot of you have reached out to me. I've had emails from people that have said, you know what, man, I'm taking this crap seriously. I've had people reach out to me and say, no, I'm doing this, man. This is a pledge for me this season. I am not going to let the people that I care about suffer in silence. Do you have any idea how exciting that is to me? Shut it or shut down. That's a great point, Martha. Thank you. Honestly, this is a great point because there are people that shut themselves in. There really are, right? This is something that happens every day. We withdraw from society, right? We withdraw from society. And when we start really feeling like we're going through it, very often we withdraw more. And it's a self-fulfilling thing, where all of a sudden you start feeling so bad and you're withdrawing from everybody, and just seeing people living life sometimes is more than you can take when you're really in the fits of it. And that's why it's so essential to have a place that you can go and just talk to people and say, hey, I'm having a bad day, and have some people that are there. Jeanette Alley Squires, good to see you. Long time no see. Glad you're here. It's always fun to see people in the lives. Squirrel is just going to sit in my lap, apparently. It's getting cold in Tucson when she doesn't want the basket and just wants the heat off the lap. But a squirrel is going to park her. See that? She sits and chews on my thumb. You would think, honestly, she puts nothing on that, right? She chews on me all the time, but she's never hurt me or scratched me or drawn blood. She's the sweetest little animal. Other than puzzles, man. She's so mean to puzzles. Wow, how much do you like hearing that? This year has been a year of growth for me. I'm learning how to be more open and how to be more honest about my issues and how to stop masking. Well, that's good stuff, isn't it? All the way around, right? That is a New Year's resolution before New Year's. By the way, I'll challenge all of you, make your New Year's resolutions right now. Quit farting around. For real. 2 years ago, Lady Miss V will absolutely back me up on this. Lady Crispin would back me up on this. Charlie, all of the old timers. 2 years ago, day before yesterday, I came on the lifeboat and I said, you know what, man? I'm so tired of watching videos that people make about me where they say trash and talk bad about me. I'm never watching another one of those videos again as long as I live, right? That was my New Year's resolution. I said, I'm going to start it right now. There's no reason to wait until January to make a New Year's resolution that I don't need to watch people say things about me that aren't true, right? That's way outside my lane. I'm going to stay in my own lane. I'm not going to watch any of those. It's been 2 years since I watched an video of somebody trashing me. And I can't begin to tell you how much happier my life has been since I stopped doing it. Now, that said, right, I'll tell you something else. People show up in places and they say things about me that aren't nice. And you guys want to have my back, right? Every one of you wants to have my back. You're all solid crew members. So you take a screenshot of whatever that person said, and then you send it to me. You know what? I don't want to find out about it. I really don't. Are there people on my channel who are over on channels of people who hate me every day too? There are. I don't understand that. I've never understood that. But you know what? Who cares? It's way outside your lane. If they want to go out there and do that, man, my other question is, what were you doing there to take the picture? And if you say I was there just to see who was trashing you, that's the same thing that person's going to say that you took the picture of, right? Let's all stay in our lane. Let's all stay in our lane. Yes, you will hear her purring. She is really, we ain't fighting anybody, man. I don't fight. I mean, seriously, unless I have to. If I'm throwing punches, it's because I have to throw punches. right? I'm not a violent person by nature. I'm really not. I'm a non-violent individual by nature. Believe it or not, that's the truth. But nothing's wrong. Here's what it is, people, right? We're talking about the ampersand. We're talking about dialectic behavioral training. I don't care how bad your life is right now. I mean, I do. But tomorrow morning, you have to get up, right? It's going to be Thursday. So if I have a bad night, if a bunch of people in my five are struggling, no matter what happens, right? No matter what happens with the boat, my equipment gets hung up, right? I'm having problems. It's raining, whatever it is. I'm going to get up tomorrow and I'm going to do the boat, right? Things are really bad, and we all have to continue to live this holiday season. In 2 days, there's been 2 shootings, right? We heard about one in Texas, then we heard about one in Las Vegas. If you Google mass shootings, they're going to tell you there's 600 of them this year in the United States. 600. It's a tough number to swallow, but that's what they say it is, right? I think a mass shooting now is anybody over 2, which makes it a little bit tougher, right? It makes it a little bit tougher because very often it's gang violence and not really it's if they do a drive-by and shoot 2 people, it's a mass shooting, and that's gang violence, whatever. But it shouldn't be happening, and it's going to be another one of those things that brings us down this holiday season. Commercialism, interpersonal play between families. We're all going to get together with our families this holiday season, and let's be really honest, that's hard, right? That's not an easy thing to do. Your brother comes and he brings his wife. Your sister comes, she brings her husband, right? And all of these different family dynamics are all going on the same time, right? It's all bad, right? It really does cause stress. So let's sit and let's talk about it and let's all get through it. Question. It's going to be a funny one. Why do I hear water in the background? Does Squirrel have a water fountain to drink from? She does, but currently you don't hear it. I disconnected it during the last live feed. Today, I disconnected it during the last live feed because someone asked me about it. They said, are you peeing? Squirrel does drink from water fountain. And when it starts making that noise, it's because I didn't top it off enough. Amy sums up, right? Here it is, right? Here it is. I find family time stressful. Of course you do. Do you know why? Because we disappointed people, right? Just put yourself in my shoes for a minute. And I have the greatest family in the world. They're very, very forgiving people. They don't throw my past in my face. But you walk into a family reunion and you're the guy that went to prison for bank robbery. You walk into that family reunion feeling a little different than everybody else there. You can understand that? That's a different feeling. You have to get over it. It's hard. But make no mistake, it's stressful. I love my family, but there are parts of family dynamics that is stressful. And you know what? If somebody in my family is stumbling, that means different to me than if anybody else is stumbling, right? So the smallest things with family are things that are in the real world. Like I can sit down and talk to. I have no one in my family right now that is struggling with drugs or alcohol. I'm blessed right now that I really don't have anyone in my immediate family that's struggling. But when they do you know how much harder it is for me to deal with that than it is when it's somebody on the boat? Because all of a sudden, there's a level of emotion that's brought into this that's completely different. That should be a glaring, right? That's what's happening in a great deal of in a smaller extent. That's what's happening to every single one of us in our day-to-day lives, right? When we have to deal with people at work, we deal with them differently than when we have to deal with people at home, or when we have to deal with people that we met for the first time. We used to talk all the time about the trust-respect triangle, right? If I come and I introduce you to somebody and I go, hey, crew, I want you to meet so-and-so, right? This is Sandra, and Sandra does this, this, and this. You will instantly respect this person based on whatever it is I say about that person, because you trust me. So whatever I say about that person is going to make you respect that person, right? Tommy likes him, I'll respect him. But you're not going to maybe not quite trust them yet because you don't know him, right? You kind of know me. But we do this, right? We do this thing where all of a sudden in the real world, we're gonna respect and treat somebody nice based on who brings them and how they're introduced. But our family, we've known them our entire lives. We love them, we trust them, but respect them? I've watched every stupid thing my brother's ever done, right? It's just different. The family dynamic creates stuff that we're not used to. We really aren't, especially as we grow older, right? I mean, all of a sudden you're bringing back brothers and sisters who are in their 50s. And it's funny how brothers and sisters, even in their 50s, start to act like brothers and sisters when they get together. They start acting like, we did when we were kids. Trouble is, we all have kids. right? And hell, some of them have kids, right? I'm not a grandfather yet. Once again, we don't need to be rushing any of that. Well, and here's a good one, right? Here's a good one. This is absolutely right. This is absolutely right, right? Right now, let's be really honest. The economy's not great, right? We're looking at double-digit inflation for the first time since 1970. There's a lot going on in the world. If you turn on the news isn't good, right? We're dealing with a lot in this country and in this world. But the most important thing to me is January the 2nd, right? January the 2nd. All of us get there on January the 2nd and we can start changing the world again, right? We can start doing all of these really important things that we want to do. But between now and January the 2nd, the goal is that every one of us gets there, right? And then we can set goals, and right? 2024 is going to be the year. There are a lot of you listening to me, maybe not live, but definitely on the replay crew. There's a lot of you listening to me who are still getting high, right? Well, good. Let's take that. Let's do a little harm reduction between now and the 31st of December. Let's cut down, right? Depending on how much you've been drinking, maybe cut down the drinking, right? You're doing dope, maybe cut down the amount of dope you're doing. I had a friend that is taking a prescription medication from the doctor and said to me, I'd like to cut down on this. And we did a little research, and it's a drug you shouldn't have any problem cutting down on. And already he's down to 2/3 of what he was taking, right? That's harm reduction. That's harm reduction. Right? We should always be moving in the right direction, even if that right direction isn't sober yet. I'm not that guy, man. I'm not here to stomp my foot and say, if you're not sober, get off my boat. That's stupid. Everybody agree? That's stupid. We're never going to do that here, man. I'm disturbed by that crap. You actually see it all the time. Cut down on the shopping. I'm telling you right now, people, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it this year. I'm not. You know what this is about to me? I'm not gonna make a religious speech here, but this is about something completely spiritual to me. I'm not gonna make it about something else. Not gonna do it. Make your bed. Thank you, Russ. If you're new to the boat, I have not been going off about this as much as I usually do, but routine is the key to sobriety, right? So I yell an awful lot about making your bed. Here's a really simple rule. If you really want to be sober in 2024, right? Tommy, how did you go from bank robber to the captain of the lifeboat? I started making my bed, right? That was number one. Started making my bed. And then I started doing the same things at the same time, all the time. I started getting very, very much dedicated to doing the same things over and over and over again. And those things were making the bed, journaling, right? Brushing my teeth, the stuff normal people do every day when they get up, right? But drug addicts don't. And the rule became really simple. It was almost the George Costanza method of life. Did I do this as a drug addict? If the answer to that question was yes, I stopped doing it. The question then became, did I not do this? Right? If I didn't do it when I was on drugs, I took it up as a habit. Reading, making my bed, working out, all of these things that do not come into play when you're on dope, that's all part of my life now. And I'm not going to lie to you people, right? I'm a 53-year-old guy and I got abs, right? I got a six-pack. I'm an old man with a six-pack because this has become something that I do, and this is something that is a part of my life. I do yoga, right? I do a hell of a lot of push-ups. This is a big part of my life. I have found I can manipulate my dopamine levels through things like working out, through things like walking, right? I can change my dopamine levels. Here's the difference. When you go over to that terrible company that your kids are probably surfing right now while you're watching me, right? You get this thing right here. When that dopamine hit comes, right? They can go up, they can go down. It's a small hit. It lasts a very short period of time, and it barely holds until they get to the next one, right? And that's what that app does. The kind of stuff you get from working out, that's a different kind of dopamine, you understand? It's not a hit. It changes the level. Okay, so instead of getting a spike in dopamine that then goes back down and makes you want another, hello kitty, makes you want another spike in dopamine. No, when you work out or you do something that changes the base level of dopamine, then all of a sudden, instead of being here, you're here. A much happier camper. Capiche? These are the things that change your dopamine levels. Not the things that give you a hit and make you feel good for 5 minutes, right? That's hollow. That's not what we're looking for. We would like to change what our baseline dopamine levels are. How do you do that? Well, you start eating right. You start sleeping right. You start working out. You start journaling. You take this thing, right? You take this bag of whatever and you say, I'm going to work on this. Top to bottom, I'm going to work on this thing. Inside, outside, all of it. All of it. As most of you know, I have begun to take a over-the-counter, in certain states, over-the-counter product to sleep made of THC, delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol. It is the psychoactive ingredient in cannabis. I take 10 milligrams of it to go to sleep. And it works like a damn charm, right? It absolutely works like a charm. But before I was ready to take that leap, you got to work on what are you eating, right? What time are you laying down to try to go to sleep? Do you have a routine beforehand, right? When do you take your last cup of coffee during the day? Like I went through every single thing else you could figure out before I was going to take that step. You don't skip all the really logical crap and go to the let's take some drugs, right? Whether those drugs are prescribed or whether they're over the counter or whether they're narcotic or non-narcotic. Look, man, eliminate the really logical crap. And the really logical crap is stuff like, hey, maybe work out, right? Maybe go for a walk. Get some tricks in your bag of tricks that are designed to raise your dopamine level so that you do not go through the day with your dopamine level here. You know what else really messes with your dopamine levels in a really good way? Huh? Really good way? Lenny, I love that. And I happen to be a big fan of baths. Prison ruined showers for me, man. I hate showers. I really do. And don't get me wrong, I'm not dirty. I shower. I used to love it. I used to love standing in there under the hot water. I used to really be into the whole process. And I'm not anymore at all. Like I don't like it, but baths are still fantastic. Baths are great. They really are. And they will absolutely, regulate and mess around with your dopamine levels. They will. The number one thing that will change that, I promise you, servitude, helping others, going out of your way to be kinder. Think I'm kidding? Why would I be doing this crap? If you think I'm doing it to get rich, then you don't understand this big red button stuff very well. I'm doing this because it feels fantastic. I'm doing this because it feels fantastic. I like working with people who need help. Right? That's the truth. It's done wonders for me. And it has raised my dopamine levels massively. Right? Massively. It has. I take that as a really high compliment, Henny, and I would like to believe that this is the truth. I am very much into the entire animal thing right now. I really am. So when I had my heart issue, boy, a lot of you like to call it a heart attack too. I've had so many emails from you people. I didn't have a heart attack. But when I had my heart issue that ended up putting me in the hospital and scared the crap out of me, the doctor said to me, for every 15 pounds you lose, you're going to live this much longer. I said, I'm going to lose 30 pounds. I did. Right? I did. Really quickly. Because I want to be around for as long as I possibly can. So I lost that weight. Right? But I started doing other things too. I started taking some actions to be a healthier person. And says, Tommy, at what time in the evening do you take your edible? I have... I don't know what that word is. Zopicone, I think, 7 milligrams. I tried 10 milligrams, too much. 5 wasn't enough. That's why I want to know, how do you feel in the morning? It's great questions. Okay, so I take this product 20 minutes before I want to be asleep. Right? Hey, Tommy, good to see you. Whenever I'm late, I feel like a stowaway, he says. So here's the deal. 20 minutes before I'm ready to go to sleep, I take this product. And then I go to sleep. So if I were to take this on the couch and then I get into whatever program I'm looking at, I will fall asleep on that couch, right? Just like that. It knocks me out. What I like most about this, that's right, see? Faces of the moon. V knows. She says, scrub that deck, Tommy Bird. Little late, she's going to throw a mop in your hand. I love it. Love it. The thing about this, I'll be honest. I'll just be straight up. If I woke up with a hangover, I would do it anyway. And a hangover, you understand, is not what I meant is if I woke up feeling foggy from this, I probably might keep taking it because the dreams were so bad and they were such an issue in my life that they were messing with every other part of me. Look at the difference in the shows I'm doing versus the difference in the shows I was doing when I wasn't sleeping. Check out the difference in those shows. I'm a very different person when I'm sleeping. I'm a much happier person, right? So, however, that being said, I wake up with no hangover whatsoever. None. I wake up without any residual feeling at all that would ever let me know that I took this product. True story. So as of right now, no pun intended, I am very high on this product. We're going to see what the long term is, right? We're going to see if the long term is any kind of tolerance because I don't want to get to a point where I'm having to pay $10 a day to sleep. Like that would suck. You know, right now this is a very inexpensive thing and it is worth it for me to not have nightmares. Now, that said, one of the reasons it was important, I could eat edibles and y'all don't know it. You'll never need to know it. I don't need to share that with you. The reason that I thought it was important to share it with you is because, number one, I know there are people struggling with nightmares. So I would like to give what I'm doing a chance for other people to at least know how I'm attacking it. That's number one. Number two, it's for accountability because I'm using a drug. So one of the first things I did was tell everybody in my family that I was doing this. Because what I don't want is on some Wednesday when the whole world is really pissing me off and I'm really, really struggling to eat one of these at 11 in the afternoon, right? That's my fear because I am a person that if I start to run from my responsibilities or if I start to use anything other than my bag of tricks to get through the day, I'm in trouble. And I'm not in trouble because weed's such a bad thing. And no, what'll happen is the second I start using something as a way to deal with my trouble, I'll get to the good stuff. I'll get to the stuff that really lets me take care of my troubles, right? That'll make me forget all of them and end up in prison. So for me, that's a big thing that I need to remain accountable. So I told everybody. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Can we get some thoughts and prayers for Tommy? And those symptoms, by the way, sound very much like what has been going on with Lady Crispin. So thoughts and prayers with her. I have texted with Lady Crispin since the last time I asked for prayers for her. She is struggling. There's a lot of stuff in her lungs. So we need some thoughts and prayers for Lady Crispin. Soplacone is a sleeping pill. I live in Quebec City, Canada. Oh, I know Quebec City. So maybe it's under another name in the U.S. Yes, it probably would be. I don't know. I'll look that up between now and the next time we're here, though, because I would be curious to know what that is. That always drives me nuts when there are... This is something that you put up with a lot between here and the South American manufacturers. Huffman LaRoche changes their names of all of their drugs when they sell them in other countries. So you don't get Valium and you don't get, I think Xanax they call Tafil. They've got different names for everything. So, and it's so that they don't have to, that it's a lot cheaper if you can get it. Yeah, I will see what that is. I promise. And the next time I'm here, I will tell you if I know anything about it. Wow, boy, did I spell that wrong? And I'm looking at it. I see. Damn. I see. Oh, okay, like clone. All right, thanks. People, thank you for your patience while I cat scratch. No pun intended. Yeah, Tommy, I hope you get better too, man. Tommy Bird is such a good person. He really is. Tommy Bird is such a good person. And from the very first night that Tommy showed up on the boat, man, he said so many cool things the first night. We were all like, you know what, maybe we let this Tommy speak for a while, take a few weeks off. But no, for real, Tommy he's lived it. And there was an actual, no joke, bona fide miracle with him right on the boat. One of the coolest days ever in the history of the lifeboat was when Tommy Bird went down to get his probation revoked and found out that they had to apologize and cancel his probation because they had been doing him dirty. That was a pretty damn good day on the boat. I think most of us old timers will remember that. Hey, Sarah. Yeah, don't worry about being late, people. We'll be okay, right? It's all good. It is all good. We're all here, and that's what's important. Love that, right, Martha? It was such a cool thing because at the time, man, the boat was not very big, right? At the time, it was a really, really small channel, and man, just every single person was on it. You know what I mean? Like I had people texting me during the day, like, "Have you heard from him?" You know, like everybody on the boat, we were just stressed, and it was just a good day, man. It was a really, really good day. And we've had a lot of those, man. We've had a lot of bona fide miracles here on the boat. Like I've said a million times, man, it takes a bona fide miracle for a drug addict to get sober. And they happen every single day. Wait a second. V, was the sentencing today? Hello, Tampa B man. How are you? Good to see you, huh? Glad that you're here. Kim Milan, good to see you. Get to the chopper. Yeah, that's a Johnny. Johnny loves that. Get down. He's always saying get to the chopper, but the really classic is get down. That's the one he gets in every single movie. Right? There's not a chopper in every movie, but somebody's going pew pew at him in every movie. And so he always does the get down. That's the stupid one. I love that so many of your live videos line up with my Aussie time, but still love the replays. So much value in them. Well, I mean, we try to deliver a little bit of value. Sarah, we're glad you're here, man. Boy, do we have a lot of Aussies, don't we? Hey, what is this? Let's see if the people on the lifeboat remember the last time we had this discussion. Z-Dub, thank you so much for your never-ending support of the lifeboat. I do think that you have exceeded your monthly allotment for super chats. I believe that you had already exhausted that. In fact, I think you cheated this one in. But thank you. It is greatly appreciated. Now knock that off. Number Johnny 5 in an Eastern accent. You know what's really funny is we have a light outside on my house. And I'm telling you, it's number Johnny 5. It's one of those things that that when you move, like it senses that you've moved and it lights up or whatever. Yeah, keep it up, Z-Dub. So it's got like the face with the two eyes and all that. I'm telling you, man. I'm going to take a picture and I'll do a thumbnail with it. And the only people that will get the thumbnail are all of you. But I'll do it, I promise you. I'll make a thumbnail out of this thing. It is number Johnny 5. And I stopped my brother from what he was doing and forced him to look at it. I was like, come here, you got to check this out. And he was very, very unhappy at the prospect that I stopped him. Oh, and here we go. Charlie says, please hit that like button. And I really appreciate it. It's 60 degrees out and you're freezing. Yeah, that's pretty rugged. That's tough. Tampa Bay. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Short Circuit was a great movie as a child. You know, you got to be a little younger than me. I didn't see that movie until I was an adult, but I'll tell you what, I really dug it. You know what? Reach out to me, Buddhist Beer. Reach out to me, and I'll get you an address. I've had some people make some stuff for me that has been absolutely amazing. I'll tell you who's great is Lady Spellbreaker. I've been having problems with one hip, and I think it's just an old ski injury, man. But who's Johnny? Johnny's my brother, who looks remarkably like me and has a massive YouTube channel. I can't believe you didn't know I had a brother. We did a 24-hour live feed about 2 weeks back, and he usually does Saturday night boat with me, but he's going to be gone this boat. But Lady Spellbreaker has made me this stuff. It's no psychoactive ingredients in it, but it's made from from cannabis. And I used it. I rubbed it into the joint, and it was absolutely amazing. It did what it was supposed to do, and I didn't have to take any kind of benzo or anything like that. Hold on one second. Cindy Plumley, be careful. Thank you so much. Glad that you joined us, and we'll see you on the next one. It's really cold here, people. What a cool thing to say. Thank you, Maggot. Says, I've been here I've been here since seeing you on Aaron's channel, and now the Lifeboat is one of my favorite and most watched channels. What you do is beyond admirable. Thanks, man. And your content inspires me. Thanks. You know what? I'm not going to lie to you. Every single day, there is somebody on this boat that inspires me. I swear to God. Every single day, somebody on this boat does something that is life-changing, right? I'm not kidding you, literally. What is really cold? When it starts getting below 50 in this state, it's really cold, right? So we get into the 40s. I consider that pretty cold. But since I grew up in the Northeast, 80 below with the wind chill, 80 below Fahrenheit. That's pretty cold. When you go outside and you suck in through your nose and it just freezes shut. I went to a ski competition in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And it was so cold, they canceled the freestyle event for temperature. But it was great because we all flew out there, and then they interlodged us. They wouldn't let anybody leave. So it was just a great, huge party. And it was like I was too old to party, but all the young kids watching them all run around and act like idiots was fun. Wait a second. You kill me. It was snowing here this morning. Oh, listen to me. Before any of you start with this snow stuff, anybody on the Lifeboat will tell you, you can go back through and watch video after video after video of me shoveling snow while I filmed for you guys, right? You're thinking to yourself, Tucson, Arizona, like I got here 3 months ago, people, right? I just converted. I was shoveling snow last year, thank you, in the Sierra Nevadas. So there's tons. Yeah, I'm a snow guy. I've never lived in a warm. Have I? Oh yeah, I lived in Texas for a while too. But I usually live somewhere where it snows. This is a new one for me. And you know what? I'm not going to miss it. Not this year. I'm not. And if I miss it, I can jump on a plane and I can go see friends of mine in places where there happens to be snow. Right? Can't beat that. RM Blake says it was 69 today in sunny Colorado. I want to tell you something. If you check Boulder, Colorado, you can check it against like Maui. Boulder, Colorado is one of those cities where it's sunny 365 days out of the year. Even when it rains or snows, it just does it in the morning and then has the common decency to stop by the afternoon, which I think is absolutely lovely. Okay, what do we got here? A. Kenneth, thank you. Okay, well, that helps but doesn't, because I don't even recognize any of those active ingredients. I've never heard of any of those. But it is a controlled substance in the United States, okay? And it is not commercially available in the U.S. Okay, interesting. I'm still going to chase that down. I want to know what it's most comparable to, because I don't... Normally, I'm pretty good with ingredients. Normally, if you give me the list of the active stuff in there, I usually know what it is. I love Colorado too. I really do. It's not the greatest snow on earth. Go ahead, send me your hate mail. Utah really is the best snow on earth. But I mean, it's also Utah, right? So that's Lunesta, says Kathy Ann. Is that the truth? Lunesta is absolutely commercially available in the U.S. though, right? I mean, Lunesta is absolutely commercially available in the U.S. So I don't know if that one's correct, Kathy. You might be. Yeah, sunny 300 days per year here in southern Colorado. And here's a joke. Johnny's never going to see this one, but this one's for him because Colorado, gorgeous, gorgeous. Zach D lives in Utah. Zach D, you know what? Thank you for... Zach sent me a beautiful email, man, that I appreciate. So, thank you. I appreciate that, Zach. True story. Pretty classy email. Utah does get good snow, but it is so Utah. I had a lot of fun in Utah. Truthfully, I really did. I had a lot of fun in Utah, but I made that fun, right? I was the guy in Utah that they were not happy was there, right? But I really had a good time there. My grandma was born in Crested Butte, Colorado in 1893. Well, I'll be damned. How cool is that? Growing up, because we were ultra hip and cool, that was referred to as, ready? The Butte, bruh. Yeah. It became a standard joke among all of us that you just called it the Butte. It was the Butte, bruh. And you had to throw the bra on the end of it because that everyone had just started saying that stuff and it was just sounded stupid. Hello, long time Leslie, servant of God. I'm glad that you're here, man. And I am glad to hear that you're on the mend, people. He has been fighting the big C. You know what that is, right? But we have reason to be thankful. He's still with us and doing well. They caught it early, thank God. And we're happy to have you here, Leslie, man. Good to have you back, my brother. Good to have you back. Inappropriate heifer. Good to see you. One with cats. Boy, you know what? It's hard not to like someone whose name is One with Cats. They stole bra from Northern California, bra. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Now, I'll tell you who did it. I'll put the guy on blast, right? Because the guy that brought that to us, the guy that we were picking on, I don't know if I can say his name. I'll tell you his nickname. I would hate it if he was bummed out by it. He was a great skier. He was a friend of mine. His first name was Dave. His nickname was Chode. Sorry, but it was. But he was from Northern California. He was a grower and a great skier. Professional grower. Like that's what he did years before it was considered like in the open. He was a big grower up in Humboldt, but a gifted skier, and he would grow all summer and ski all winter. Like they did it. It was almost like Point Break, man, for real. These guys would go out there and they would just grow an absolute ton of really good pot, and then they would go sell it, and then they would go skiing for the rest of the year. But he was the one that said "brah" every 5 seconds. So we were talking once, right before we were all going to ski, and I said, "So you're going, right?" The next competition was another Wyoming trip, and I said, "You're going, right?" He's like, "To the Butte, brah?" And everybody in the room, there was about 10 of us, and that was it. Like Crested Butte just became the Butte, brah. And well, I don't know. That was a long time ago. I don't remember how long ago. Maybe 25 years or something like that. I don't know. Long time. Long time. Blow Drill says, I've been to Murder Mountain. Is that right? And C says, I am one cat away from being called Auntie Cat Lady. No, you need at least more. Come on, you got 2 cats. You're not even in the running. To be Aunt Cat Lady, you need at least a 6-pack, right? 6 cats, you're not an aunt lady until you, or a crazy cat lady, or any other form of that. No. You need at least 6 cats. I mean, I pretty routinely grow, through my adult years, had at least 4 cats. This is very rare for me to only have 1 kitty. But when you achieve perfection, like you see this cat, hold on. Do you see how cute that little kitty is? Look at her. Oh. When you achieve perfection on the first cat, there's no reason to look for any more. Red Rock in Colorado is awesome. People, if you've never seen a concert in Red Rocks, it is an experience worth having. I have seen multiple shows there. I've seen some great concerts there. Red Rocks is amazing. Yes, but I don't have kids, single, and proudly 50. Okay? All right? You make a solid argument. I no longer... Okay, I'm corrected. It's the proud part. You know what I mean? You might... Yeah, one more cat will do it. But I like you. I think that's great. I really do. I think that's great. And I love that you're proudly single. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm proudly single. Oh, that's so true, Lenny. Right? Anyone that has rescued an animal will tell you the exact same thing. I went in, I stuck 2 fingers into that cage, and this cat went over and went boom, and like dropped onto my fingers. Like, I can't do any cuter with just 2 fingers. Is there any way you can take me home? Like, this cat was on it. Squirrel knew what she was doing. She's a very, very intelligent kitty. And before I leave, stick around for the end of this, right? Because before I leave, I'm going to use the TREAT word so that you know who can hear it. And you will hear her freak out. Because she knows that when this is over, you guys never see it. But the second that this show is over, she's going to go from there to this little perch that she has, which is the only place that she can get one of those little TREATS's. But all I got to say is that word and she will go boom and beeline right over there. It's actually very, very funny. The crazy dog people, see? The crazy dog people who live in the gated community. I love it. I love crazy animal people of any kind. No, who just did that? Zach D, you start screaming the T word, we will have security remove you. She hears that. The show's over, people. She hears the T word. It's all over. A dog and a cat, I think, is awesome. I would like to get, she's going to learn how to spell it. She really is. She already looks at me with that look like, I'm going to break this code. You know what I mean? She's pretty slick. Of course, Zach could blow the whole thing. See, Lenny has to spell it out too. We all do this because our animals are smart, right? Our animals are smart. That's what it comes down to. So let me tell you just how spoiled this animal is, right? This morning after my live feed. So you guys see the live feed at 5 a.m., but because of the daylight saving things we talked about earlier, I finish up at 7, right? So my morning show's over at 7. But no place that sells the T word was open at that hour. So I had to wait an hour while she just pouted and acted like just the world's biggest spoiled animal. And then I had to go cruising down to the closest store, right? Which is the most expensive store. If she could have just waited a day, I could have saved money. I'm complaining. Truthfully, when I got there, they had a really good deal. They were selling these things on special. And I will recommend them. They're a dairy flavor. The cat absolutely loves, which is shocking because Squirrel doesn't really like much of anything. Like, as soon as you think you got her figured out, she'll stop liking it just to be a pain in the butt. You know what I mean? I did learn my lesson. It's funny that you say that. I did learn my lesson, right? I should have replaced those when I got down to 4 inches left in the jar. She has reminded me of that 3 or 4 times already too. That's the spirit. Look at this. That's the spirit. I have 5 rescue cats, my fur babies. I love it. I really do. I love anybody that's doing that. That's good stuff. I am in the, is it Oro Valley? Honestly, I don't know if I'm in Oro Valley. I'm in the Catalina foothills. I think I'm probably pretty close. I know Oro Valley comes up a lot when I look for things. Like, I have to drive. Sometimes I shop, and there's a store that I go to. I don't know how far away that is, but I'm definitely up in the hills. My service dog adopted you from the local pound. Nice, pet pup groomer. I'm adopted as well. Rescued is my favorite breed. You know what? If that's not on a t-shirt, it sure as hell ought to be. Right? That's funny. Bought my dogs their own bed with fluffy blankies and pillows. One is on my bed, one is on my knapsack, and the other is on my dirty laundry. And that, people, is the miracle of owning a pet. I can buy the greatest pet toy in the entire world, but all this animal wants to do is play in the box, right? Yes, if I were to get a DOG, I would want either a German Shepherd. I could really groove to a German Shepherd. I could probably also really enjoy a Chiweenie. One moment. Hello? Hello? You butt dialed the lifeboat. Thank you. Happens to the best of us. My dog still does my taxes. Still waiting on a refund. Well, there you go. I would have had a cat do my taxes. Seriously. You look at those two animals. Which one does it look like wants to get over on the government more? A dog or a cat? Nothing further. You always have a cat do your taxes. Yes. So a squirrel is acting just like a kid. One moment they like something and the next moment they want nothing to do with it. Correct. Except this little thing looks at me with this obstinate look on her face like, I know I liked this yesterday. I no longer like this. You need to go out and get other stuff. And here's the thing. She will boycott that food until the end of time. Literally. Like, it'll be 6 months later and I'm pulling out that bag of food, trying to sneak 3 or 4 of them into some other treat. She's not having it. Like, once she decides she's boycotted a treat, then she has boycotted a treat. You know what's funny, people? I got a good idea for some of you. I love dachshunds, too. I do. Wiener dogs are great. And I had a Chiweenie, a half Chihuahua and half Wiener dog that was one of the smartest animals I've ever met. She was just great. She was actually my girlfriend's dog, or wife, I should say, because we were married for a period of time. Can you do me a favor? Can Russ, put a comment up in the comment section for me right now. There is reason to believe that Russ might have been accidentally blocked. And if that is the case, Russ, you just chill out, my brother, and don't trip. We'll get you unblocked after the... I did say the word. Fortunately, her ears didn't even perk, but you're going to see it in a second. I am not seeing a comment from Russ. So I will go and unlock my boy after and get him out of YouTube jail. It happens by accident all the time. If you ever find yourself blocked, it's no big deal. We err on the side of caution. Right? So we'll fix it. Oh, this is so funny. Tommy, could you have ever seen this coming when you started this channel? Talking about everything. So enjoyable. No. No. Nope. No. I didn't start this. I mean, I did. I started a channel called the Tommy Scoville Show, which I hated the name of, so I let the crew pick a new name, and they picked the lifeboat, they picked captain, they did all of that, and it really has allowed. They've taken this thing in the direction they wanted it to go. The first time we did a live feed, like the crew just got together and said, "We're a live channel, like we're not doing videos anymore." Oh, there he is. See that? Russ was cleaning cat boxes. I'm sorry, I forgot you were a pet. I am too. I forgot. Russ has been adopted by a cat. Actually, 2, I think. Hey, Andrew the Heat Seeker Boyle. I'm glad you're here, man. Thank you. That was very, very kind. You know what? I love that, man. Thoughts going out to all the people in Nevada. That's from our friend Andrew the Heat Seeker Boyle on the other side of the world, right? He's chiming in from New Zealand, I believe. So really, really appreciate that. Oh, the cane Corsos. I love those. They're so cool to look at. 2 cane Corsos. Yeah, sweet babies that scare everybody else. I love cane Corsos. They are so cool to look at. Oh, wow. How cool a dog is that? The St. Bernard brought a dog in that whose eyes weren't even open. A friend's mama cat took it in. I love that. What a great story. You know, it's so funny how many times somebody will say to me, I started watching you on AA Ron's channel And then I found out you were a cat person. I knew you were the real deal. Or I found out you were a dachshund person. Or I found out you were a skier. Hey, you know what, man? I love you all. Everybody, whatever brought you here. But I have a dachshund mixed with a Rottie. Wow. Wow. I'm trying to picture what that might come out looking like. But I think, this is my humble opinion, I think the greatest mix, man. Chihuahuas and dachshunds make such great. The Chewiners are just, I'm telling you, you talk about a smart dog, super, super smart, and just had personality for days. When I would sit on the couch, the dog would sit up next to me, like on just the back feet, and look at me like, look, man, this is all belly. Start petting this. And it just, it'd make you laugh. And if you didn't, she would do the little arm things. Her name was Lilith. She was one of the great animals of all time. Oh, I do remember this. I do remember this. I remember this like it was yesterday. I remember this like this is the time of my life when I was going to Montreal a lot. That was my freshman year in college. So I do remember that. I remember that distinctly. Oh my goodness. It has really been that long. 34 years. Oh, wow. Well, there you go. Do the math. I was a freshman in college 34 years ago. Wow. It's I had completely forgotten about that. I just got such a huge flashback of being in my that was on the news, and we were in the they had like a little I don't know what you call it, like a lounge area for students. So we all had our own rooms, but there was one big lounge area with a television set in it, and usually a keg tapped, or a beer ball tapped or whatever. It was a pretty loose. They weren't really doing a whole lot of watching the kids at that campus. So, but I remember watching that on TV and being horrified. But it just continues, doesn't it? There you go. I love this. Tell you what, let me run the radio station. All right, Marie, you buy that island, I'll run the radio station. I'd be more than happy. All right, mix non-alcoholic drinks for the whole place. I make a mean non-alcoholic drink. I met a wire-haired dachshund today. Really friendly and sweet. I love the fact that you said you met a dog. I love that. See, I meet animals all the time. But people will say, I saw an animal or whatever. I love that. Nicola met. That's what I do too. I meet him. I think that's awesome. McDonald's massacre. I remember that one too. 1981. Yep. The McDonald's shooting was awful. Awful. My sister's boyfriend. It was the first time I'd ever heard anybody crack a joke about a tragedy. My sister's boyfriend had made a joke about it. And I remember being like, as a kid, I remember being really taken back by it. You know what I mean? Like that. It just didn't make sense to me. And then you get older and it's just that you understand that I'm not picking on anybody. It's how some people deal with things. But the first time you hear somebody make a joke about something that's tragic, you just sit and think to yourself, man, is there something really wrong with this person? Like, how do you joke about that? But it is what it is, I guess. Ark of Grace Ministries. No, I've not heard of that. But by the way, yeah, Cindy. I'll tell a quick story to end this up. I have a friend in town here, a woman in town, really nice, beautiful, beautiful person. And we go out and get coffee, or we go out and hang out. And she said, have you ever heard of the El Jefe Cafe? And I said, no, I have not. There were 36 cats at the El Jefe Cafe. Wrap your dome around that. There were 36 pussy cats. So as you sit and talk to your friend and have a cup of coffee, you go in and you buy a little pouch of treats, and you get attacked by all these cats. As soon as you come in, they just want to jump up and run in your lap and lay on you and cuddle with you. And it's just a beautiful environment. And I'm telling you, I walked out of there after 2 hours and just completely changed who I was. Resin Temple says, in the 80s, postmen were shooting, going postal, right? I never liked the term either. And it is such a part of the lexicon of our language now that it's second nature. We don't even think about it, but it's an awful expression. I agree with you 100%. All right, people, it brings us to the top of the hour. I have been asked, why do I do 1 hour shows and how come I keep them at 1 hour? Apparently, that's what the algorithm really likes, or so we've been told right from the beginning, and we've stuck with it. And fortunately, we put up a lot of them. So if you wanted more content, there's 1,400 more of these puppies out there. You feel free to check it out. We will be back tomorrow morning. You have my word. And this right here, this is a rock star. That is a cat in a basket. Say goodnight, squirrel. Ready? You ready, people, before we fire this up? Hey, squirrel, you want a treat? Come on. Yeah. See ya. All right, squirrel, let's go. I'm going.